targeted individual. I want to speak to you guys about Gangstalkers and what I've noticed from 2018 up until 2025. Oh yeah, and let's not forget, reporting live from Washington, D.C. So originally when I was back in Texas, I noticed Gangstalkers will use your close friends or family or a companion to play you close. They often use incentives for these people, like money, clothing, food, drugs, and etc. First off, I noticed they would kind of like try to like number up against me, like in mass numbers. Like, let's say for example, they always had a heads up about where I would be and where I was and where I was going from gang stalking and from working with someone that I considered close to me. They would pop out at like times when everything was going wrong. Now keep in mind, the things that were going wrong were primarily inflicted by these gang stalkers. Now let me tell you this about gang stalkers. They get a thrill out of seeing you sad, cry, upset, and their primary goal is to silence you and to get you to curse God and Jesus. They are anti-God, anti-truth, anti-love. They're into witchcraft, the occults, and cults. They are also witches, warlocks, and other demonic entities, Satanists, and etc. I noticed they would always use horns and traffic lights and always try to appear like an angel of light. I remember one time in Texas, I was having a traumatic moment with someone that they were using to basically harass me. And somehow I end up on the side of the highway. And next thing I know, someone comes with caution lights. A young Caucasian girl in Bryan, Texas. Like an angel of light. But something kind of seemed off about the girl. And then another incident was me coming out of a therapy session with my therapist. No, before I was going in, they tried to prevent me from going to have sessions with my therapist. I'm assuming they didn't want me to tell her about what was going on, or they just didn't want to see me get better. Another thing about gang stalkers, it is true, they sneak in your home, they steal things, they move things around. And when I was in Texas 2018, someone was stealing my car, using my car at night, several vehicles. What else? They used to eat food. Like, you know how you cook something, you're like, hold up, I know I had leftovers. Like, who been eating? Somebody been in my house. And they, like someone else said, they also wanna, they get a thrill out of letting it be known that they're gang stalking you. And yes, the police are involved. They're in the hospitals. They follow you to the hospital. They violate your HIPAA rights. It's like an obsession. They steal. If you find yourself losing all your property, it's like they're on your trail. They're following you, so they know as soon as you sit something down, they got you. Like, they've hit me up. Like, it's insane. Even with me being in DC. A recent thing that occurred was one guy, my stuff had got stolen by some guy. He picked it up and walked away. And randomly, some guy just came and gave me a hug. I've had groups of people try to convince me, including the Park Police in Washington, D.C., try to convince me to come with them on a satanic ritual night. I did not get, to me, I feel like they have to ask you to I mean, they ask you to go with them because they can't take you if you have a certain hedge of protection over you. Like me, for example, um, I might appear to be a little hot mess, but in all actuality, I'm not. So, and then I remember seeing one of the other guys that I believe I had seen in Texas in Champion Forest, a next door neighbor to someone that I was living with. I'm not really sure if that was him, but I had seen him, and I also think this is the same guy that randomly came up to me to give me a hug. And what else? With DC, they pay people to attack you. I was literally chilling with somebody, y'all. It was all to the good. Like, we was drinking. Next thing I know, the person leaves and then comes back. And I'm assuming these are people that they have caught up in the legal system. So they're bribing and blackmailing these people. And I'm kind of thinking these people have done some really foul stuff. Because, I mean, let's look at the people that they're dealing with, the things that they do. Horrific. And what else? This is just off the top of my head. And their primary goal, too, is to separate you from your kids. They'll do anything to get you to a point where you feel like you won't believe in God anymore. They're in hospitals, they're in schools, they're in courts, they're in nonprofits. They're everywhere. And they're going to try to play on your top and make you think, or make people think that you're crazy. Which is why I started the movement, the I'm Not Crazy movement. And like I said, they're in several police agencies throughout the USA. And they do some horrific things. They're even in the court system, CPS. Majority that I've noticed is primarily Caucasians. They're hackers, they're scammers, they steal your money. They're pedophiles. They love recording. They love porn. They're thieves, primarily thieves that do quote unquote white collar crimes. I've noticed the numbers primarily they're Caucasian, racist, KKK Caucasians that hate God, hate Jews. They portray like they're Jewish. They're in drug classes. They're wherever you can imagine, and they love to portray themselves and impersonate police and use FBI as their hotspots. They get a thrill out of that. So be mindful and be aware, and don't ever let anyone silence you. And if you have any questions or concerns, just tap in, get at me, and the time is near. Tick tock, no watch. Reporting live from Washington, D.C. Your favorite LaQuisha Spencer. See you soon.